how are you doing? This is Pastor Cheryl. We did go out to the meditation garden this morning and we tried filming it, and the sound wasn't quite right. What can you do with that? So, that was an attempt. I just wasn't happy with the film. So, we're doing another homily. And what I did out at the meditation garden for our worship service, you saw in previous videos. And so for Sunday, I use a conglomeration of what I teach, and so they get a lot of information at the end of the week. I was very disturbed by the bad storms, and of course what's causing it is those holes, coronal holes in the sun, which now seem to be closing up. We don't know how long, and just keep that in prayer, because they could reemerge, and the sun is doing something. I don't know, it's going through a phase. And, I think it's, burning out and slowly burning out, and it's going to eventually go into a red star. So when we talk about last days, we're going into the last days of our Earth's history. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the last days. And, the sun will eventually turn into a red star and get very large and engulf all the way out to Mars and envelop that, and we will burn up to a crisp. But if you remember in the book of Revelations, we were in Revelations 21, it does say that there's going to be a new heavens and a new earth. And it describes a spaceship landing on a new Earth. And apparently with the remains of our population to repopulate a new planet. So there is a future. There is a future. Even though our sun is having problems right now, there's others out there. Okay, there's others out there, and that's other planets, and apparently we're going to get transplanted, and we don't know where. But we have a reign of 1,000, Christ is returning, a reign of 1,000 years, and then the earth is going to have a meltdown, another problem with the sun, and there will be a new heaven and a new earth. We're going to be taken somewhere. That's in the book of Revelations. The church doesn't talk about this much. They're not brave enough. They're not brave enough. Anyway, so my hair is coming undone. We were out in the wind. We were not bothered by the guy across the street today. There's a guy that's a druggie type guy, and he runs out of the house and screams at our church members. Wow. So we've been praying him out of Goose Hollow, and hopefully he will nicely disappear. Wouldn't that be nice? Just gone. We're hoping that he sells that house and he's just gone. He uses the house for storage for his business. But when he's out there, he's just hostile and I think dangerous. But so meantime, we're praying about it, and my group is so poor that they can't afford another little piece of land or another chapel. Okay, they can't flip the bill to move somewhere else. Okay, because that's what most people say. Why don't you sell it and get the heck out of there? Well, why doesn't the guy across the way sell what he has and gets the heck away from us? And so that's kind of the perspective we're taking on that. don't want to sell what we have. And so anyway, we are still in the book of John. John 18. Jesus is arrested and taken to Ananias, or Annas. Verse 12. Then the company of soldiers, the commander, and the Jewish officials arrested Jesus and tied him up. First they led him to Ananias, since he was the father-in-law to Caiaphas, who was the high priest that year. Caiaphas was the one who had advised the Jews that it would be better for one man to die for the people. Instead of the people being killed, all of them, it'd be better for just one. So that was his idea. Okay? Peter denies Jesus. Remember, Jesus said it before the cock crows, you're going to deny me 3 times. This is one of those examples. Simon Peter was following Jesus. It was another disciple. That disciple was acquaintance of the high priest, so he went with Jesus to the high priest's courtyard. But Peter remained standing outside by the door, so that the other disciple, the one known to the high priest, went out and spoke to the girl who was the doorkeeper and brought Peter in. The servant girl was the doorkeeper and said to Peter, "You aren't one of these man's disciples, are you?" "I am not," he said. Now the servants and the officials had made a charcoal fire because it was cold. They were standing there warming themselves, and Peter was standing with them, warming himself. That's kind of sad that he denied Christ. He denied his God, his leader, his Christ, and best friend, one of his best friends. And that's kind of a sad thing. And it's kind of like we're getting back to remember the TV show Hogan's Heroes, and there was a chubby German guy named Schultz, and Schultz would go, "I know nothing, I know nothing, I know nothing." Do you remember that? And this is kind of what he's doing. "Oh no, I don't know anything about it. No, that's don't know him," and he's lying. This is what you call a little white lie. He's protecting himself. Otherwise, they'd probably drag him on in. That's what he thought. They would think, drag him on in and kill him too. The Romans were just known for being very cruel, despicable. They were not good people. I mean, today you think of Rome, you think of a beautiful city, you think of the Pope, the Vatican, you know, it's a lovely place. But back then, you know, it was kind of the head city of just a lot of corruption. But anyway, we're getting up to 8 minutes, and we will continue on with this tomorrow. And just we're inching our way through the book of John, and then we'll get into the book of Matthew. Okay, I'll see ya. Bye-bye.